Welcome to the world united. Welcome to the world united.
Give me 1 second here. Tell you a little bit about her. KAELEN REVENSE is a devoted member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and a proud mother of her gay son. She has her MAID in adult education, her master's and an MAED, I guess is the way we should say it, in adult education and training, and has been teaching adults and youth for over 30 years. As the chief celebration officer of her business, KAELEN REVENSE Coaching, Celebrate You, her passion is being a spiritual teacher, LGBTQ and plus advocate and ally, angelic Reiki practitioner, life coach, speaker, and author. She's the author of the book, It Was Never About Me, a Latter-day Saints mother's journey towards loving acceptance of her gay son reality, coming in 2012. And so, KAELEN, I'd like to pass it over to you.
Thank you so very much, Mike. I'm so grateful to be here. And I have to apologize. All of a sudden I was on and my computer went whoosh, and so I'm on my phone. So I'm so grateful for technology backup.
Well, I have to admit, you freaked me out there for a sec when you disappeared. So I'm glad to see you back.
It freaked me out just a wee bit too. So I'm really, really grateful to be here. And Maria, I am so sad that I missed what you had said. So I look forward to having whatever recap is meant to come through. You know, it's interesting because as we're sitting here talking on pure spirituality, this is what really comes to mind and comes to heart. My story is that our son came out in 2012 as gay, and it was in the dark night of my soul. And it was a very, very painful time, a very painful experience. And yet him coming out was crucial to my healing journey. Without that, I could not be doing the work I'm doing today. I wouldn't be the woman that I am today. And I am so deeply grateful because of that. A lot of things went off in my mind. I want to say it, but I was a very judgmental, self-righteous individual. And let's just say, for me, God is a he. And let's just say God and Jesus had to come to Jesus meeting with KAELEN one day, and it was a scary experience because it brought all of the thoughts and beliefs that I had acquired over the years to a ceasing halt. And what I realized in such a beautiful and deeply loving way is that every human being, regardless of who they are, they deserve honor and respect just for the mere fact that they breathe. Just because we breathe, we need to see each other for who we really are as these divine, beautiful beings. I've been taking this path recently on sacredness, and I've realized that every human being, myself included, what does it look like to be sacred? What does it look like to hold myself as sacred? And this realm of pure spirituality, I think that's like this element of where we need to sit in. What does it look like to hold ourselves sacred? What does it look like to the words that we express to hold sacred? What does it look like for the spaces that we sit in to hold sacred, the work that we do that is sacred, the relationships that we have that are sacred? There's so much, and the beautiful thing is, every human being is a divine being. Doesn't matter what their gender, what their race, what their culture, what their background, it doesn't matter. The color of their skin, it doesn't matter. We are all these beautiful, divine, sacred beings. And because we are, this is how we need to treat each other. And so today I really would love to just sit for just a moment and talk about remembering what sacredness is and this beautiful spiritual return, or this return to our spiritual beauty for every single human, man, woman, non-binary, doesn't matter. We're all divine. And so if we literally stop and hold ourselves in this place of what does it mean to be sacred? It means holding my life as an exquisite masterpiece. holding me as an exquisite masterpiece, holding my thoughts as an exquisite masterpiece, the work that I do on a day-to-day basis, holding that as an exquisite masterpiece. And when we slow down and we stop and we really tap into these places here, then we sit in this pure space of divine sacredness, of holiness, of wholeness. That's even better, right? Of wholeness. Back in 2018, I had the opportunity of going up to Winnipeg, Canada for a mastermind group, and it was amazing. And here was what was really interesting. There was a lot of shifting that was happening at that time in my being. And I knew that God and the universe, the divine, they were doing some serious work in my soul. I've been a coach now for 4 years, and I've had this beautiful 7-course coaching program that was downloaded to me over 4 years ago. And it's interesting because the message that I coach on is still the same, exact same, but my target audience shifted. And instead of focusing on women who had abandoned themselves, it has shifted to LGBTQ plus individuals and their families and friends who want to love and support them and who may not know how to navigate these waters, especially when it comes to their faith. Because when faith is wonderful, religion is wonderful, it's really about when we have some experience that challenges us, that makes us question, what do I really believe? Then we really have to sit in that space of what is really truth, like eternal truth, like it's a universal truth that it just can't be shifted, or what is a cultural belief. And there's a whole bunch of different things that can come from that space. So I was on this trip to Winnipeg, and I could feel this bubbling, this massive bubbling coming through. And we had the opportunity of going to the Canadian Human Civil Rights Museum, and we had a personal tour. And I sat in that space, and it is this magnificent building, and the dedication and the artwork and the craftsmanship that is set forth for all of humanity is so sacred. It's so reverent. It is so holy. And I realized when I was there that from the very dawn of ages, we as humans have been horrible to each other, like seriously horrible. And I'm like, I can't do that. I can't be that person. I don't ever want to be that person. I have to make a difference. There is something that I must do that will allow me the opportunity to love and serve and support those individuals I am meant to work with. And so on this trip, I hear God saying, "Oh, you're going to be serving the LGBTQ plus community." And I'm like, "Wait, what? Wait, back it up here. Seriously, back it up here because you're freaking me out just a bit." And it took me a couple of weeks to go, "Oh, this really is who I'm supposed to serve." Because then there was this voice that came through, and the voice was, "You've been prepared for this your whole life." And I realized that when I am in the presence of people, when I am able to feel their love and their energy and their sadness and their pain, that's what we empaths do, right? But when we really sit in those sacred spaces, we get to see the person for who they really are. One of my dear friends, he made this quote. He says, "It's really hard to hate up close." And so when we sit in those spaces of really getting to know someone, all we're doing is just seeing a reflection of ourselves, seeing this beautiful being in front of us. And we realize that we're all one. We're all the same. We're all meant to be here together. So I think this is actually a pretty fun thing. This is my own personal belief system. Take it for what you think, but this is how I feel. I firmly believe that each one of us, before we came down to this amazing earth, we sat down with our divine being, our divine father, whomever that is, the infinite spirit, and we're like, okay, these are going to be the challenges and problems that I know that if I take these on, this is going to be my quickest way back to the presence of the divine, right? This is what I'm thinking. This is what I think is happening. And I firmly believe that I sat down and I went, you know what? I have this ability, and it's a gift. It's a gift. This ability to love in ways that I could have never known how to love before. And it is because I see this beautiful community, and thanks be to God for our son, because he taught me that. He taught me that all he is a person who just wants to be loved and to love. That's all. There's nothing different. He's just a human being. And that right there allowed me, that day that I had this Jesus come to Jesus meeting with me, and I had all of these sorrows, so much of that, in fact, all of it just went away. It just went away. And I realized that my only purpose is to love the person in front of me and to accept that this is their reality. I may not understand it, but this is their reality, and I can be there to love them, and I don't have to judge. Whew. When I realized I didn't have to judge, I was like, thank you. Sign me up for that all day long, because that was what I was doing. I was claiming all of those pieces of my son's issues as mine, and they weren't mine to claim at all, but I had to do my inner work. And once I did my inner work and realized my sacredness, with so much ease, grace, and peace, I saw his sacredness. I saw his divinity. I saw him as a divine being of light. And that is what the gift of diversity brings. The gift of diversity brings the fact that we can sit in these sacred spaces and places and see our beauty through another's eyes, and to see their beauty through our eyes. And that is what having an exquisite masterpiece of a life is all about. That is what it means to live in these beautiful spaces of sacredness. Because when we sit in sacred spaces, sacred places, sacred beingnesses, that's even a word, there's something that's really, I want to say, magical and miraculous that happens. Because now we see everyone as a whole being, because without them, we're not whole. So thank you so much for this opportunity to share, Michael, and I'm going to turn that back over to you.